All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Rise and shine. 7 a.m. East Coast time. My name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. And today, I want to talk to you about your perseverance tank. And I want to ask you, what type of fuel are you putting in your tank? I want to ask you today, what type of fuel are you putting in your tank? Because just understand, life isn't so much about what happens to you, but it's about how you respond to things, how you go out and react to things. If you're going through some things, right now, I'm telling you, this message is for you. And if you're not, you're going to be at some point. So this message is still, for you. See, a mentor of mine told me a long time ago that the road to success leads right through the dump. Here's what he told me. He said, a setback sometimes is a setup for something greater. He said, the bigger the test, the greater the testimony. And when you're going through some things, let me tell you, you got to ask yourself, what are they going to say about me? You got to tell yourself, I'm writing my story. You got to say to yourself, this is my fuel. See, you want to say, this is my fuel. Matter of fact, drop a comment if that's you and say, this, is my fuel. Because, understand this. It's the people that go through the challenges. It's the people that go through the adversities. The people that go through the obstacles, but they let it fuel them. Those are the people that inspire us. It's the people that turn those adversities, into their advantages. Good morning, Mr. Steve Summer. Great to have you on, buddy. And, we're going to do a little pop quiz right now. We're going to do a little pop quiz to some individuals that have been heroes to so many of us. And let's talk about their journey. Let's talk about their story. Let's talk about the fuel that they put in their perseverance, tank. And we're going to, do a little pop quiz. And as I share the description of what happened to the individual, if you know who I'm talking about, you can drop a comment, with their last name. You can drop a comment with their last name. So the first person, here's their story. This individual lost his fiance. His fiance, died. He had two major business ventures that failed. He suffered a nervous breakdown. He went out and lost 8 elections. Now, that was his story. Now, do you know who that person was? Who was that person? Let me tell you who that person was. It was Abraham Lincoln. And here's what happened for him with all those things. That was his fuel. Now, how about somebody that was fired from their newspaper because they lacked imagination and had no original ideas? Yes, Mr. Hodge, you got that one right. So somebody was fired from the newspaper because they lacked imagination, had no original ideas. Do you know who that person was? Here's who that person was. Walt Disney. You got it, Mark Kent. Walt Disney. It was the fuel to his fire. It was his fuel in his perseverance tank. How about a band? How about a band that was turned down by Decca recording companies because they didn't like their sound and they said the guitar sound was on its way out? The guitar sound was over. Nobody wanted to listen to somebody play the guitar anymore. Who was that band? Who was the band that said, listen, no way. If you came here in the past, maybe, but now definitely no. Who was that band? Here's who that band was. It was the Beatles. Now, how about a gentleman that a teacher said to him he was too stupid to learn anything, that he should go into a field that he could succeed just based on his pleasing personality, but he was too stupid to learn anything. You know who that was? Here's who that was. That was Thomas Edison. It was Thomas Edison. Yep. He was too stupid. He was too stupid to be held back by the 10,000 times that he failed until time 10,001 when he invented the light bulb. But here's probably one of my biggest heroes, just based on when I grew up. Who was the person that was cut from their high school basketball team? They were cut from their high school basketball team, and they went out and literally locked themselves in a room and cried. Who was that person? Who was that person that was cut from their high school basketball team and locked themselves in a room and cried? You know who that person was? That person, you got it, Mark. That person was Michael Jordan. See, as I mentioned before, life isn't so much about what happens to you, but it's about how you go out and react to it. Here's a quote from Pele. Pele, one of the greatest soccer players of all time, and here's what he said. He said, "Success is no accident. It's hard work, it's perseverance, it's learning, it's studying, it's sacrifice, and most of all, it's the love of what you do or what you're learning to go out and do." See, if you've never failed, you've never lived. Perseverance is the fuel to succeed. And you want to say to yourself, when you're going through things, this is my fuel. See, this is my fuel. You got to go out and utilize those obstacles, those adversities, make them your advantage, and you got to go out and utilize them as your fuel. And you know what? If you need to go out and create a little bit more fuel right now, here's what you got to say: fill my tank. So drop a comment that says, fill the tank. Because you know what? Sometimes you got to fuel up. Sometimes you got to fuel up with those stories, those experiences, those adversities to take you where you need to go. Because remember, it's the people that go through it that find a way to have that fuel in their perseverance tank where they persevere when other people stop, but they keep going. And we're going to go out and share their name and share their story years and years and years and decades from now because of the fact that they filled their tank. Because of the fact that what happened to them was their fuel. So if you think that somebody could go out and get something out of today's message, go out and hit the share button. If you think today's message can go out and inspire somebody else, hit the share button. And again, drop a comment that says, fill the tank. Drop a comment that says, fill the tank. Again, my name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. This is my fuel, everybody. My fuel is be able to do this every morning, 7 a.m. to try to pour into somebody else. Again, this is my fuel. And so many of my stories came from adversities. They came from the obstacles. They came from the failures. But that's okay because that's what's going to go out and inspire other people. So have an incredible day, everybody. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow and have a wonderful day.